Hey, how you doing? Aren't you glad 2020 is basically over? That is, if 2021 is not worse. Um, I got a message from Darren Miles of Darren Miles Photography, and of course he does landscape photography. I've been telling him the whole time that the most useful lens for interior and landscape photography on the X-mount system for Fujifilm is the 8 to 16 millimeter. And he sent me a message a few hours ago on my phone and said, "You know, I think you're right the whole time." I was like, "Yeah, of course I was." We're going to talk a bit about Fujifilm for 2021, but also too wanted to relay a message. I sent an email to a big Fujifilm big cheese. You know, one of those big Fujifilm executives, like way up there. No, I don't work for Fujifilm. I mean, do you really think they'd have me? Look at me. Even though I make them a bunch of money. Everything I recommend, I spend my own money on, and I really mean it. But anyway, I sent him a message, and I said, "Oh, please, God, have Fujifilm come out with a monochrome camera for next year, for 2021. And his reply to me was, "Yeah, I really want that also." He said, "I'm excited for Fujifilm Monochrome." So nothing is definitive. I've heard from 3 different sources that Fujifilm is, in fact, working on a monochrome. The sensors already exist, both for crop sensor and for medium format. The IMX 461 exists with color filter array in the fabrication plant, as well as without color filter array, i.e. a monochrome. So the only thing Fujifilm would have to do is slap it into an existing camera body and change around their firmware for interpretation of pure luminance input. But what is on the near horizon for somewhere for March or April, round about there, and I'm excited for that, is the 70-300 Fujifilm for X-mount. The 70-300. Also, too, well, the X-T4, which I always have my X-T4 out because that's the camera I'm always actually grabbing. Actually, honest with you, I more often grab my X Pro 3 than I grab the X-T4 because it's a lot more compact, and I really love my X Pro 3. Since the X-T4 was meant to be used at the Olympics and showcase a couple of the new lenses that I'd talk about, and of course the Olympics were postponed till next year. It's obvious that the camera for next year to be used in the Olympics was supposed to be next year. Because all camera companies, Nikon and Canon, always showcase their latest and greatest at the Olympics, will be the XH2. The XH2 is undeniably coming sometime, should be mid-year of 2021. It could be a hair earlier, so I can't be specific on that, and it could even be later in the year. Like, I don't think so, actually. I don't think it'll be like October, September of next year. I absolutely do not. I'd be willing to put money on that the XH2 is coming out mid-year of 2021. But with that, there are 2 lenses that were recorded, and this was mentioned several months ago, that will fulfill the Fujifilm X-mount line for stuff that Fujifilm and everybody that knows about glass knows that they're lacking. And I have the 200mm f2, a 300mm field of view equivalent. Excellent lens. It's way faster than any of the Nikkor hardcore sports action wildlife lenses, and I've owned or used all of them, and way faster the 200mm f2 is. So I can't wait to see how the 2 new lenses from Fujifilm, the 300mm f4, that'll be 300mm f4 for hardcore sports action wildlife, and also too the lens I'm really excited to see, a 500mm 5.6. It should be about actually it should be almost identical to the phase Fresnel Nikkor 500mm, that little short stubby unit they came out. I seriously doubt this is going to be a phase Fresnel lens. They're more fragile and they're a lot more difficult to produce. Not that Fujifilm couldn't do it, but I actually don't want, or there are optical issues also too. Bokeh is bad, so on phased Fresnel lenses. You don't buy that because people actually do use telephoto primed for portraiture. The bokeh is always really bad on phased Fresnel lens, so there are many optical reasons not to make one, considering also to the fact that it is difficult to make and really damn expensive to make. So I know it's not going to be a phased Fresnel lens. I mean, I guarantee I'll bet the farm on that one. So I'm actually most excited next year about the announcement of the 500mm 5.6 for Fujifilm X mount. Also, too, extremely excited about the XH2. Obviously, the XH2 is going to have all the features, including great video features on top of that of the XT4. And improved buffer rate. I don't know what they're actually going to do, probably dual processors and something additional, but the new battery for... These look exactly like EL15 batteries, which power my and your Nikon equipment. So, with a vertical grip capability on the XH2, I don't know what the price is going to be. I wouldn't even want to speculate on that. Also, too, actually, I think I'm most excited over that of the 500/5.6. And I hope it's a monochrome, but it might very well not be. But it's going to be the IMX 461 102 megapixel sensor, currently in the GFX 100, which I also happen to have and love, even though my favorite camera in the whole world is the GFX 50R. Hey Fujifilm, I'm still waiting for that Christmas gift for being the #1 salesperson in the whole world on the GFX 50R. I absolutely love my GFX 50R. I'm never ever going to get rid of it. It's simple, it's inexpensive. If you can't crucify the image with 51 megapixels of a medium format, you can't do it with 102. But it'll be the IMX. Undeniably, the next GFX camera will be the IMX 461. However, there are two variants of that. There is a monochrome IMX 461. I don't know if it's going to go in the GFX camera. I know Fujifilm is working on a monochrome. Whether it's going to be... There is also, too, a crop sensor monochrome sensor that Fujifilm could mount in a camera. And that would be awesome. I want to be the first person on Earth to jump on the bandwagon of that damn camera. Please, God, Fujifilm, bring out a monochrome camera. I wouldn't mind if it's even X-mount. However, if it's medium format, all the damn better. I will sell whatever it takes to get the monochrome camera if it's the 102 megapixel IMX 461. Even if it's a crop sensor, I'll do whatever. I have to... There's one camera I say I actually have to have. There's only two things, really, that I've ever wanted in the photography world. Now, Leica does make a frigging monochrome camera. It's obnoxiously expensive. It's slower than a constipated turtle. I would love to have it. And they also, too, came out with the Leica Q2 monochrome fixed lens. Okay, whatever. Also, too, obnoxiously expensive. No. But the only two cameras that I really wanted, Fujifilm is the only company that's bringing those out. And one is already out. A couple of them, three of them, really. An inexpensive medium format camera, tough, reliable, on and on. They did that. The second thing that I've been waiting for many, many years, just like a cheap medium format, and Fujifilm nailed that to the wall, is a monochrome digital that is a decent price point. You see, people keep saying, why do you love Fujifilm? They really have to mention this because I don't have any affiliate links for these damn cameras, any of them. People say, well, you keep harping on Fujifilm. I mean, it's like you're in love with... Because there are many, 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 many reasons why. But I'll give you two reasons why. The two damn cameras that I've been waiting for over a decade now, the only people that are delivering that is Fujifilm. What would that be? Cheap, great, awesome, inexpensive medium format camera, boom. And secondly, it's going to be a monochrome camera. Whether it be the X mount or whether that be a medium format monochrome, it's going to be Fujifilm. It's like, sure, I can get a monochrome. I'm not going to spend $6,000 plus on a constipated turtle Leica. You know, I would love to own it. Even the Leica Q2 monochrome, I would love to own it. Fixed lens, yeah, okay, great lens, obviously on there. That's not really a Leica, by the way, those Q2 series cameras. That's a melding between Panasonic and Leica, so it is a Leica technically, but not really. Because Leica don't do autofocus, obviously, I hope you know that. But that's what's up for 2021 from Fujifilm. And that's not to say that there's not going to be more, but that's a lot. 70 to 300 in the first quarter of the year. Can't wait for that. 300mm f4, 500mm 5.6, which I'm most excited about. Everybody's excited about the XH2. And the new GFX camera. I hope to God they come out with a monochrome next year. They may or may not, but I know they're working on a monochrome. I've had 3 extremely reliable sources tell me yes, they darn well are. So, here we go.
We say, why do you love Fujifilm so much? He's like you. You're just a shill for Fuji.
Because the 2 cameras I want, the only company that did it is them. That's a really good reason why.
People say, you're angry.
I'm not being angry at all. This is not angry. This is being emphatic. I don't think I would make, other than my voice and my bald, tattooed self, I don't think I would make interesting videos if I made them all in mono. Hello, greetings, sir, ma'am, and ladies. I would like to discuss various things that... Wait, that's too boring. People want a little bit of drama. Of course, sometimes people say, "Ah, you yelled and you almost blew my speakers out." And I'm sorry about that. I've had too much caffeine today. Anyway, the weather outside is miserable, even though it's kind of warm. I'm going to go drink some more German Gerolsteiner Wasser. Yeah, Gerolsteiner Wasser auf Deutschland. Jawohl. Well, thanks so much for watching, and wait for it. Fujifilm.